Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We have finally completed the rhyme, so we can stand before the door of Baron von Ghoul, recite it, and stop that evil once and for all. We're basically going so we can go get the key so we can set free the other people and get out of this creepy, spooky mansion. And so Criven celebrates the fact that we have the key, and we celebrate the fact that we have the key, but now we have to make our way back through this hall of madness in order to get to the Baron's door. So that's going to be our main mission today. This next room is going to be an aggravation and a half. Crivens tells us something we already need to know, but we have 3 Johnny and Clydes in this room, and I want to show you how you can do this room incorrectly. So the Johnny and Clydes are here, and I see a hallway that I can run down, hopefully unnoticed, and they won't see me. So, Turbo Cooper, we're doing good. Invulnerability plus the Traitor soup. Hey, this might do me some good. And so the Johnny and Clydes begin to attack each other, but notice the rules. I have to find one on a ghoul, a key on a ghoul. I have to find a key hidden elsewhere, and I can't kill skeletons. Now, that vampire is the reason why you're going to end up hating this room. That vampire has the key on her. The key that's hidden somewhere in the building is hidden amongst those test tubes filled with the liquid. So you've got to try to blow those up. You've got to go through those and you've got to do some damage. At the same time, every time you break one open, if you break open the wrong one, you've got a number of worms that are chasing after you. That's no fun! And as you can see, I'm just getting blown up left and right because I'm not staying far enough away from the worms. Worms are chasing after me, they want me dead, and now a Johnny and Clyde is on my tail. So, yeah, you can already tell this isn't going to end in the best fashion. That, I'm trying my best to find my way around. So yeah, this isn't going to end well. So I figure since I realize I'm going to go ahead and die, there's the rare tome. It's in the freezer that the Johnny and Clydes ran out of. So that's the reason why I'm showing this, so we can see the tome where it's located, and you can also see me fail miserably. But what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to get rid of the Johnny and Clydes, you're going to want to find the test tube, and you're going to want to kill the vampire. So, I grabbed the key, and then they grabbed me. So, we're going to skip ahead to a time when there are no more Johnny and Clydes. And we're back. And this is at a point where I'm facing major aggravation. You see right now, I am a one-hit wonder. I am just waylaying the vampire. Unless her door is open, you're not going to do any damage to her. You're not going to harm her in the least bit. And so here I am taking out my frustration on her, and I can't get her out. So, again, there's some annoyance here, but I made the decision the best thing to do is to go ahead and try to find the key that's hidden amongst those test tubes. That's the best thing for me to do. Let the worms blow themselves up, and maybe if I can get them around her, they can blow her up. Not likely. And I love how I have the bright idea that I'm just going to beat her with the crate. And you'll see the reason why she's an annoyance here, because she starts moving that way. Where normally she would chase you down and try to kill you, try to open the door, bring you into her coffin to suck your blood, she's avoiding me. And she won't open the door unless, I'm far away from her, and by then it's too late to attack. So I go back to the plan of attack that I had earlier. I'm going to go and beat these doors open, or test tubes open, and try to find the right key. Finally, I did it. So that's one less thing that I have to worry about here. And so I'm happy to an extent. See, look, she opens the door, but she avoids me in such a way that I can't get to her. And when you hit her, she shuts the door. That's when I had a brilliant-ish idea. I don't know why I'm going to try to beat her with the champagne. I guess I was just aggravated, hoping that maybe she'll swing the door open at an angle where I can hit her, and I failed miserably. But then I came up with an idea. We're told not to kill any skeletons. Guess what? Mr. Skeleton is now dead. The Grim Reaper is here. And my voice just cracked. The Grim Reaper's here. It dawned on me all of a sudden. I can't kill the vampire with regular attacks even if I could anyway. I actually have to bring the Grim Reaper out here. That's the reason why they have the rule with the skeleton. So that's what I have to do. By killing... I felt really weird because of the fact her breasts were sticking out of the coffin. But that's how you kill her. But if you don't know that, that's a little bit of an aggravation if you can't figure that out as well as, if you can't figure that out faster than I did. But what that does is that brings us now to the experimentation chamber. And there are a number of skeletons in this room that have weapons in their hands. So what do? You let the ninja imps take care of them. That's exactly what you do. You let the ninja imps run in, and you let them attack, and you decimate, or let them decimate what they can. And, yeah. So, I'm going to go ahead and give, going to go ahead and mention something that's going to be happening in a few moments. We are going to do a little bit of backtracking, and while the ninja imps do this, we're going to do some backtracking. And the backtracking here in a few moments is going to be, we're going to go back and we're going to get the rare tomes that we have missed to date. Because I'm not going to miss any of the tomes in any of the rooms following this. The numbers will be different because I did this after I had beaten the game. But I figured now would be a good time before we go into Baron Von Ghoul's room to go ahead and grab those old ones and, take care of all that. Yeah, that ninja imp's getting a little bit too close to comfort because even though they have Traitor Fever, they can still attack you. So, ninja imps have taken out a good portion of the skeletons right now. There are about 2 or 3 of them left, and you see that one with a crate. He's going to be coming at me in just a moment. He sees me. He's going to throw that crate, and if he hits me with a crate, I'm dead. But thankfully, he missed me. And I think he actually killed his compadre there. I don't mind, but it's what happened. But, yeah. You go to this room. Once you've got the skeletons cleared out, all you've got to do is bust open this locker, and there's your rare tome. So all of these skeletons are done. These ninja imps want to attack me. Run out of the room real quick, and you're good to go. So now that brings us back to the grand hallway. And we're going to get this nice shot of Baron Von Ghoul's door, but we're not heading there. We're going to do some backtracking now, and we're going to find the tomes that we missed. And again, remember, our number is going to be slightly different from where it is now. Now we're in the 60s. We're going to have all 100 by the end of this. But there's your rare tome right there, hidden behind that door. And so let's go back now to the lighthouse storeroom. And so here we are. And if you want to access these rooms, if you looked in the option, I'll show it off at kind of in-game, but if you look in the options area, you'll see where you can revisit scenes, you can replay chapters. That's how I found, got to all these real quick. But the rare tome was right behind me the entire time, and I kind of felt dumb because, well, I'd messed that one up. But you don't have to finish these rooms as we head to the woodshed. All you gotta do is once you find that rare tome, you're good to go. But just to show, this is the rare tome. This is on our way to get the giant egg, the woodshed. And kind of skipped ahead a little bit. If you notice this area, you've got the saw, and you've got the spiders, and you've got 2 barrels. Well, the rare tome's right over there. So, you gotta love when you miss stuff like that. Well, that brings us out to the farmyard. This is, again, on our way to get the giant egg. This is the time that Fiddlesticks is getting attacked by Little Roger, who is just a week away from retirement. Rare Tome was right beside me the entire time. Alright, this is after Mr. Rib steals the egg in the lower corridor. Remember the rules that are there. The Reaper. I grabbed the one-hit wonder because I was hoping that maybe this would make fighting the chairs a little bit easier, so I wouldn't have to worry about getting hit, and I even picked up the bricks. And then completely overshot every brick after that, and there comes death. Destroy one chair, but if you look at the vase right there, there's your rare tome. As I get nailed by the chair. Now we go to our kitchen with Mr. Ribs. Don't attack him. If you attack him and beat him, this ruins your opportunity to get the rare tome. Found out the hard way. But if you walk over here to the freezer, there's your rare tome. We have 10 more left. And there is, just to show you, is the where you can replay all the scenes and view them and things of that nature. Just kind of wanted to show that real quick so you can see where they are all available. As I scroll down to the next chapter just real quick. So we make our way to the grand hallway. And here we are. Now, where is this wondrous rare tome hidden? Well, it's quite easy to find at this moment. You'll notice there are 2 haunted paintings right in front of this doorway. Well, you're going to want to beat them. And you're going to have to try your best not to damage anything because the Grim Reaper will appear right in front of you. So I'm cutting it very close right here. But he kills both enemies for me. Grab the rare tome. And then we move our way to the cloakroom. And you're going to notice I get confused here because there are 2 times that you're in the cloakroom, and each time the rare tome is found in a very similar area. And so what you want to do is not do what I do, but you can actually see the rare tome if you're paying attention. I wasn't. As I looked at this trunk, broke it open and went, wait, what? Where's the... And then I realized, oh. The next time we go through the cloakroom, it's going to be right in there. Now, here we are in the music room. This is after we've gotten the dungweed. You notice I'm breaking all of these busts. And there's a particular reason that I'm breaking these busts. If you remember correctly, the cursed mummy appears out of the busts. And he attacked you. Well, you've got to kill 30 and survive within a certain amount of time. We're going to skip ahead to after that. So, this is familiar to us. We have our stuff taken away from us from Babs Buff Brass, and we have to endure fighting all these different creatures. Because that's where we get the rare tome. You have to beat the Hunchback. But notice, because I destroyed the bust, the cursed mummy does not appear. So yeah, dude, you want to fight? This was one of the fun rooms. But because Trader Fever is turned on, if there are any creatures that come out, they're going to attack each other. And right now it seems that I'm lucking out because nothing's attacked. But notice the way I'm doing... I was about to say, notice the way I'm doing this. After a certain amount of time, these guys started to attack. They burst through the room. And the Hunchback's trying to run away from me. But I want this guy dead, and I want this guy dead fast. So, you attack him like you normally would the Hunchback. You can't... Yeah. Destroy that skeleton with the guitar. You can't just attack him while he's down. You can only attack him from the front, and once he's down, he's going to cover his face. So attack as you can, and get past him. I mean, there's not a whole lot you can do at this moment. try to take out these skeletons as fast as you can, and try to make it where they're not so much of a nuisance as they were in the past. But defeat them, rare tome appears in his place, and boom. Well, that brings us back to the coat room, or the cloak room. Same difference as far as I'm concerned. But the thing about this room is you can't damage any of the room. If you damage the room, the Grim Reaper comes. And like I said, it's in a very similar location to where the first one was. You round the corner. As I'm being attacked by everything, attack that green trunk, rare tome appears, and avoid the Grim Reaper as best as you can. Well, that brings you back to the kitchen once you have the dungweed, and you've got to protect Ma Soup's wheel. We'll skip ahead real quick. But what you do is, because I'm meandering around the room for a minute, go right over here, rare tome. That brings us back to the main hallway. Rare tome. Now we're on our way to the dungweed. Schoolroom. Schoolroom is one of those where you can't damage anything and you've got a minute to get out of the room. But if you want the rare tome, you're going to have to damage the room. It's hidden right in that globe. And then you've got to avoid the Grim Reaper for a full minute. We now head to the Dunfiddlin cottage room. And I said we were heading to get the dungweed. We're actually on our way to get the first of the pieces of the rhyme. Notice we kind of had a jump cut there to the end of the level. That's because of the fact we no longer have use of the holy water. We have Edna, and that's because we have to have Edna in order to kill these. When they open the door, shoot them. And both die. There's your rare tome. Now we're back to the Dunfiddlin cottage home. This is right before we enter into the cottage. Remember, I said don't go through that gate. If you go through the gate, you're going to miss your opportunity because you have the rare tome right there behind or beside that shrubbery. I have killed the warlock. We're in the cottage, and we're going to head for the last tome. And once we get this tome, we're going to end out the video. But once we end this video, the next time we come together, we are going to go after Baron von Ghoulies. There's the guy that's stuck in the chest again. If you want to get by these enemies real quick, grab the invisibility. Go into the freezer, and there it is. Pause the game. You can leave the room from there. It saves your progress with the tomes, and then you get all 100. And if you're playing on the Xbox One version, you get rewarded for what you've done. And so, in the next episode, we're going to attack Baron von Ghoul. And then we're going to grab the key, and we're going to save all those wonderful people in the house who apparently are halfway trapped. But we'll see you then.